Hi, my name is Beth Hiley here for Board Game Geek TV at Essen 2013. I'm sitting now with Ted Alsbach.
Hello.
Hello. And I've been told that this is the best one of everything you've brought us to
This
show.
is the one I'm right now so excited about.
Okay, so this is
I love the other
one
games that
night.
we have, but this one I am so excited about. We have played this more than 400 times in development in just the last 3 months.
Which is always a great
Yeah.
thing to hear, that a game that has that much time put into testing and balancing. And so, all right, one night Ultimate Werewolf. We've got even the mat, the beautiful mat to play on. A standalone card game. You do not need Ultimate Werewolf to play this.
It is totally standalone. You don't need regular Werewolf or any sort of Werewolf to play it. It stands all by itself.
All right, so what is different about one night that makes this so exciting?
So, as the title implies, this takes place over just one night. Most times Werewolf games, whether it's Inquisition or regular Werewolf, it's a series of nights and you're trying to figure out things and more information comes out over time. In this case, you have just one night to figure out who the werewolves are.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, I know. And if not, things are going to be really, really bad. You've got a bunch of folks on the village team. So here we have a villager and a seer and a robber and an insomniac. They're all villagers. They're trying to figure out who the werewolves are. You've got werewolves who are trying to make sure that nobody figures out who they are. At the end of the game, there's going to be a vote. Someone will die, maybe more than one person, but at least one person will die. If it's a werewolf, the werewolf team loses. Even if it's if you're a werewolf that didn't die, you're still on the losing team and you lose. If no werewolves die, the werewolf team wins. Because basically they've convinced the village team to kill one of their own. The interesting thing about this game is normally in werewolf games, the werewolves eat somebody. So in Inquisition, there's a night phase where they go through and the werewolves actually chomp on a villager. In regular Werewolf, every night the werewolves are killing someone. Not in this game. In this game, these werewolves are fairly passive. They actually don't do anything. They're just trying not to be discovered.
Okay.
So they're kind of friendly werewolves. But they are werewolves, so we need to find them and kill them, regardless. The way the game's going to work is everyone's going to get a roll card. So we take all the cards, we shuffle them. We're going to put 3 in the center, and then everybody else gets a card. Whoops, don't look at that. Here. You secretly look at your card.
Okay.
Show the camera. And then there's a night phase. The night phase happens, everyone will close their eyes, and then we'll call out the different rolls. So we'll first start with the werewolves. So we'll say, werewolves, open your eyes, look for the other werewolves. Now, the interesting thing about this is there's 2 werewolves among these 7 cards. They might be 2 players. There might be 1 player and 1 in the center. It could also be 2 werewolves in the center. And we don't know this. Nobody knows this, really. The only person people are going to have an idea is if you are a werewolf and you know if you have a friend or not. So that's possible. Next thing is the seer. The seer will wake up. They'll get to look at either 2 of the center cards or 1 other player's card. And then we get to the fun stuff. And we have the robber. The robber, if I was the robber, I would get to do this. I can swap a card with someone else. I see what that new card is, and I put it down. Now that person is now the robber. I am what they were. So we have switched roles. They don't know we switched roles. They still think they're the robber, or whatever they were before. Then we have a troublemaker. The troublemaker can switch to other players' cards.
Oh.
So
Does
now,
that include one from the middle?
From the center, no.
Okay,
You actually
player,
can't switch from the center. It's just the players. And so now these people have been switched, but they don't know that either. But the troublemaker does. The troublemaker knows, what happened. The robber knows what happened. Then finally we have an insomniac. The insomniac is allowed to look at their own card to see if it's been changed. So they're like, they've been changed or not. Now, in any of those cases, people who were not werewolves may be werewolves. People who were werewolves may not be werewolves. So they may have switched teams. After all the rolls are done at nighttime, everybody wakes up, and then you discuss who's a werewolf. Now, if everybody tells the truth about what they did, it's easy. You figure out the werewolves. Like, I'm the troublemaker, I switched these 2 cards. I'm the robber, I changed you with you. And then the werewolf people are like, crap, I don't know what to do. I'll claim to be a villager. We've got these little tokens here where you can put them on your cards or other people's cards. Like, I think you're a werewolf, and I think you're the troublemaker, or whatever. And then some people might take them back and forth and say, no, I'm a villager. But you're not going to really know for sure, but you're going to have an idea. And if more people tell the truth, you eventually can hopefully hone in on who the werewolves are. When everyone's ready, you say 1, 2, 3, vote. Everybody points. Whoever gets the most votes dies.
Okay.
We flip their card over. If it's a werewolf, great. The village wins. If it's not, the werewolves win.
So game what?
That is the game.
10, 15 minutes?
Not even
tops?
10 minutes usually. With 3 or 4 players, it tends to last about 5, 6 minutes. It plays up to 10 people, and those can range maybe to 15 minutes, depending on how long the discussion is. It goes really fast. So that's the base game. It also comes with all these other roles. So it comes with a dozen roles total. And you'll notice it does come with some villagers, but this is the one werewolf game you can play that you never have to use a villager. Once you're familiar with the game, you can just take these out, forget about them. Everybody gets a special role.
Everybody has something interesting.
It doesn't hurt the game whatsoever to be able to do that. So you can have all those different roles out there and play, and it totally works. Some of the fun roles that are out there that can be used are things like the Tanner. The Tanner's on his own team. He has a miserable job. He wants to die. He wins if he dies.
Okay.
So he's trying to get himself killed, where everyone else is trying to find the werewolves. If he dies, everyone else loses. So you've got that. You've got the drunk. The drunk will see initially that he's drunk, and then he'll get called at night. But what he has to do, he has to exchange his card with one in the center, but he doesn't get to look at it because he's drunk. So he has no idea what he is at all. But he knows he's not drunk anymore, which is upsetting. Which is a great lesson for kids in general.
Very much
Don't
so, yes.
drink because you might wake up as a werewolf.
Werewolf, yeah.
Yeah. There's a doppelganger, which is really exciting. The doppelganger looks at someone else's card, like the seer this year. Then I get to do that action, as well as the seer will get to do that action. So I'll get to do it separately on my own thing. The problem is the doppelganger can also see a werewolf. So you might have 3 werewolves instead of 2 werewolves. So that's the game. It's super, super fun. You play, like I said, 5 to 10 minutes, and you can play another one, trade in some roles, and it plays with a great variety, great number of people. So it's a great filler, but you'll play it a bunch of times probably.
Oh, yes, yeah. Well, particularly with something so quick. Now, do you know a price point for this?
It'll be in the U.S. It'll be 25.
Okay. All right. Oh, I'm really excited about this one also. This is why I love doing interviews, because I end up spending a lot of my own money. So thanks for that.
Sure.
And Ted, thank you so much
for
stopping by and showing us One Night. Excuse me, Ted Allspox, Ultimate Werewolf, One Night. There we go.
Thanks. Is it in Bangkok?
One Night in Bangkok.
Oh, that's great.
Come on.
It was printed in Shanghai. It's printed in Shanghai. I could have gotten it printed in Bangkok.
Oh, you missed such an opportunity.
But that's a different game, though, unfortunately. Yes.